Well, everyone, it's another wine review. I There's only one glass really in that last review, the last bottle that I did, so I'm doing another review since excuse me, since there's only enough for one glass. Um, there when we did a wine tasting today, there was some left over, and in this one particular bottle, there was only enough for one glass. I'm sorry, I'm a little tired. My blood sugar was a little low, so I'm recuperating. But anyway, in that one particular wine, it was mostly used up. So this one, as you can see, there's a lot in this one. And this is Shaya. Little deer on the front glass. Watching Star Trek. Have it on pause so I don't get copyright violation. This one's a 13.5% alcohol. A little higher than the last one, but it's from the Rueda region. 100% Fidero white wine, product of Spain, 2014. As the morning mist disperses across the undulating countryside of the Shaya deer emerge from the surrounding pine forest to forage. The gnarled vineyards planted a very long time ago in the sandy riverstone soil produced the finest Fidero and Rueda. There is a distinct minerality in these wines, which complement the abundance of fruit flavors. The nose. Again, very minerally. This is, I think, what the Rueda region is typically like. Very minerally. Kind of getting a little bit of pineapple on the nose. Some apples. Getting a little bit of lime. Maybe even some peach. A very fruity nose. But it's not sweet by any means. It's just really fruity. Like the last one. It's just a nice, simple white wine. We'll see what the palate's doing. Wow. Wow. Oh, man. It's, wow, it's a very, like, it's really high on the acid. It's, oh boy. It has sort of like a straw, and even on a nose, it's coming out with this like straw-like um, flavor and extremely on the aromas. Um, you, you get this subtle apples, peaches, slight pear, laid back lime, like not like a tart lime, but just like a hint of lime, like as if you just did a dash of lime in there. Let me do another sip real quick. The initial when you swish it around, like you gotta swish it around a lot. So for example, and then you do that to sort of aerate it in your mouth. You get this nice mineral minerality to it. So there's definitely a little bit of stone in there. But you really are left in the end with a hint of apples, but you really get this peach and pearness to it. A very nice fruitness to it. Not so much tropical like the last one I did, but more full fruit peach pear. I'm not really getting any pineapple, even though I do get a little bit of pineapple on the nose. I'm not so much getting that on the palate. I am really getting peach and pear. Now that I'm getting the peach and pear on the palate, I'm sort of getting peach and pear on the nose. So there is still a distinctive pineapple though, and apples. So wow, this one is, boy, this one's tough. It's I don't know what this is. Filter. That's how I do it. Okay. Sorry, I'm just trying to figure out how long I've been going live for. So, this is definitely a very good wine. I would say it's more definitely of a summertime wine, although I could definitely easily see this being paired with Thanksgiving as well. You would definitely want to pair this with a poultry dish. You would not want to pair this with like a ham or pork. So if you're doing sort of like a chicken or a turkey or even seafood, I don't know why you would have seafood for dinner, but maybe you don't like chicken and you just want to do like a nice fish. This would definitely be good for that. So I would say, yes, it is a summertime type of wine, but if you are more of a white wine person, this is definitely a wine to do for the holidays. It has sort of a nice little zest to it, a nice little crispness to it. Definitely good if you are having that Thanksgiving turkey or nice baked chicken. Here is the wine again. Shaya. I think that's how you pronounce it, but I'm not sure. And I'm going to keep this bottle because I like the deer on it. Look at that. Little deer. Deer in the woods. And the bottle itself is nice because it's like the woods and the Shaya are white, but the deer clearly stands out in like the woods, maybe in the winter time. So again, it's 13.5%, and this is by Bodegas Vintas, and this is imported by AW Direct Inc. out of California. Since I'm doing an imported wines, I like to say where it's been imported from. So this was originally going to be the wine I was going to review tomorrow night, but since the wine I just reviewed a little bit 45 minutes ago, I think, to an hour, since that was only one glass, since we used it all at the see, now I'm more alert now that my blood sugar is coming back up. at the beginning of this review, I was kind of having a low. And for those of you that don't know, um, sorry that my thumb's in the way. I'm trying to tap the live button to get rid of it, but whatever. For those of you that don't know, I am diabetic. Was diagnosed type 1 diabetic at the beginning of this year, in February actually, so not quite the beginning, but near the beginning of this year. Um, so that's why at the beginning of this review, I seemed a little confused because I was just recovering from a low. I probably should have waited until I was feeling better, but I really wanted to um, share this wine because um, um, I have sips of wine before I do this review. So I have an idea going into this review in my reviews of how it tastes and what I'm looking for. I miss you too, Haley. It's really been a long time. Um, wow. 4 years ago, actually. 4 years ago that I did Sacramento. 3 years ago that I did Denver. It's, oh man. Man, I cannot believe it's been 4 years. Man, wow. But thank you. Yes, definitely go me. It's definitely encouraging when I I have friends and family that support me with this lifelong condition. I mean, for me it's definitely lifelong. I mean, diabetes is lifelong. I don't care what you say. If even if you have type 2, you can reverse it, but you know, you still risk a chance of it being inside you. But for me, it's lifelong. It's chronic. I need insulin to live, but it's definitely something that is needs to be shared. Um, Especially for me, I feel it's important that my friends know that you, my viewers, my supporters, I feel that it's important for people to know about my condition because the more support I have, the more um, respect I have for myself because, there are a lot of people out there with type 1 diabetes that they just don't care. They either don't take their insulin, which they need to live, or even if they do, they just still eat sugary candies and sugary sodas. They drink sugary sodas and they have high blood sugar. And I mean, I'm lucky. Um, I did have to be hospitalized for my diabetes. Now, granted, I did not go into a diabetic coma, but I could have. My uh, diabetic sugars were at 873, so they were pretty high. And I was told you need to go to the hospital. So I was conscious when I went to the hospital, but they told me if I had waited any longer, I may not have been. So very lucky that I'm here. I am a wine review going into talking about my health condition. Going back to the wine review, very nice wine. I'm going to give this a. I'm going to give this a 4.5 actually. This has just a nice acidity to it. It's not overbearing, but it's there. You got the peaches, you got the pears, you got the apples, you got pineapple on the nose, but not so much on the palate. But the palate pretty much matches the peaches and the pear and the apple. 4.5. It's a simple, easy drinking wine that really can be paired with any poultry dish, any seafood dish, and still not late in the year if you're a white wine drinker. If you're a red wine drinker like me, It may be a little bit in a year for you to enjoy this, but I keep an open mind and I like this wine. And this is definitely something I think would be. I may even get a bottle for Thanksgiving. This is definitely a good, nice wine for Thanksgiving. Nice stone in there, nice minerality in there, so nice straw in there. Overall, nice wine. 4.5. Shaya 2014, 13.5% alcohol. Bottle for a third time. Little deer. Little deer running in the forest. That's where they should be, not out in the street, lying on the ground. But there's too many of them, and unfortunately, I see them all the time driving home, driving to and from work. Yes, they come out during the day. Sad. Sad you see deer getting hit by cars. Just we should create like a little sanctuary for them. Anyway, I'm Ryan the Wine Guy. Cheers.